Live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special episode of the INVICTUS stream. My name is Justin Thomas James, and this is the very first live episode of the Chapters of the Undefeated Community Mission, Chapter 1, the Necromancer. Yeah. And if I had the button that made all the sound effects, then it would be the sound effect. There'd also be some clapping. I see people are going woo in the chat. That's awesome. Shout out to everybody who's here. Who do we got? We got Marbles. We got Ms. Deadly Company, which is Mrs. Megan Dawn. Marbles is who's Marbles in the group? I know Marvin Tanner. We have I am Getty 256, who might be in the wrong room. And Harlan was here earlier. Hey Harlan, if you're still here. Big hello to Michael and Brianna. Big hello to Dustin. Wow, this is great. I'm excited. This is like, we got Will Smith. That's not actually Will Smith. It's Savage, the Chief. Torrent Savage. We got Chris Sparks. Who we got? Okay, and now we're back to Megan Dawn again. Megan says somehow she always manages to not be prepared for live streams. She's making supper. What are you making, Megan? I would love to know. David Johns is here. Hello, David. I hope that all of you guys have your character sheets ready, because we are going to be using them today. We are going to roll the dice, and we're going to see whether or not you guys can defeat this necromancer, or if he is going to escape and cause havoc in some other county, or maybe he'll kill you guys. Maybe he'll defeat all of you, and just this will be the end of the Undefeated. That's it. This is kind of a one-man show right now, but it's not actually a one-man show. You guys are going to be feeding me a lot of the content for this episode. So if you see me floundering, just throw a line out and write something for me to read in the chat. That would be great. But I see there's a lot of comments here. We got Chief Savage. Haven't been able to join the community game, so I thought I should show up and give the community his support. Thank you very much. It is his. What is your name, Chief Savage? I know we've been over this. Torin. Is it just Torin Savage? Yeah, I can't remember who you are in the Facebook group. Zia is here. Always great to see you, Zia. Michael and Brianna have an unhealthy habit of dropping adulting for the stream. What does adulting mean? Is that like adultery? Are you watching another stream right now, Michael and Brianna, at the same time committing adultery with the INVICTUS stream? This is my heart. Okay, so what is this going to look like? Truth be told, I don't really know. I wrote some things down last night, and I'm hoping that it works out, but really this is the first time doing like a mass community game where you guys are each going to be able to give your input and to add to the narrative excuse me, of what's happening, and it's going to be interesting, and I'm really curious to see how it goes. I know you guys have been absolutely fantastic with the weekly chapters of the Undefeated missions. Just you guys have been writing out some really cool like mini vignettes for the settings that I've set you guys up with, and I just think you guys are absolutely amazing. So big round of applause. If you guys have sound effect buttons at home, go ahead and whenever I say applause, you just click the applause button so that you get that oral experience. Actually, I do want to say, because I'm just using Google Hangouts, I'm not able to give you guys any music or any ambiance or anything like that. But to help you guys get in the mood, I suggest you guys find your favorite D&D fantasy epic playlist and get that going. We're going to be jumping into some combat after I go over a couple housekeeping things. But yeah, get that going. Let's see if we can get in the mood of fighting a necromancer. We got Chris Sparks saying didn't participate in character creation for the Undefeated, but wanted to stop by and see how it wraps up since she tried to keep up with the story. Marbles is going to look after everybody fighting. So everybody just lay down your swords. Marbles will take care of it. Well, that didn't go as planned. To adult, the process of doing chores and paying bills without any external stimulus commonly leads to being jaded with reality. Well, this is, I think the stream is basically all about being jaded with reality. It's why we're creating so many fictional worlds. Okay, we got some clapping. Let's go to how this is going to work. First of all, join the Discord. If you're watching this right now and you're making comments in the YouTube chat, that's not going to work. Not too many people are there. So yeah, come on over to the Discord. If someone is in the YouTube chat, if you'd be so kind as to send a link to the Discord, that would be fantastic. I see there are a couple of people in YouTube. Jack Swan, thank you very much for coming. And Eric Thompson. Oh my goodness, you're saying that this is the first live stream you've been able to catch. Welcome. This is not representational of what we do on the Invictus stream. This is a first-time thing that we're trying. Viewer participation. Join the Discord chat, and you guys can take part as well. So, join the Discord chat. If you haven't yet, join the Facebook group. That is where lots of really great things happen. People post amazing, fun, interesting posts every week, all about, geek stuff like we are, role-playing games, and, just being human too. It's a really, really great community. And just lovely people to be around. So if you aren't a member of the Facebook group, go do that now. Also, subscribe to the channel, like this video. It really, really helps us out if you guys do that. Sorry, I'm going to hit my mic one more time. And yeah, if you could please just like and subscribe, that would be great. It helps us out a lot. Moving on, let us discuss the game. How is this going to freaking make it? Welcome, Matt. Matt, I don't know which Matt this is. Matt McHale, perhaps, I'm guessing, from Seven Land Hand. Check out Seven Land Hand when you guys get a second. I think this is Matt McHale in the chat. This is how it's going to work. First, I want you guys to change your name in the Discord chat to your character name. If you don't have a character name, feel free to make one up right now. You don't actually have to have a character sheet, like a D&D 5e character sheet, to take part in this. We're just going to give you guys some default stats and HP, and we're going to go from there and hope for the best. And then afterwards, if you want to create a D&D character sheet, you're more than welcome to, but I'm not going to penalize you if you don't have the character creation guide or any sheets or a printer or whatever. So just feel free to create a character. And you can change your name in Discord by right-clicking on your name on the right-hand side and, yeah, typing in change nickname. Also, if you could as well, I want your character name, and also I want your HP, your hit points. And you're going to be changing that yourself throughout the game. We're going to be doing the honor code, so I'm going to try not to kill anybody because this is our first session, but I haven't completely balanced the system yet, so who knows what's going to happen. This could be the very end of the Undefeated. Yeah, change your name to whatever character you're going to be playing, and you feel free to change it. If you haven't set your character sheet, you can change it midway if you don't like, your character. You're going to have opportunities to describe how your character handles themselves in combat, what stats they are, what kind of fighter they are, if they're an actual fighter or if they're a rogue or whatever. So if you are creating on the spot, just make something up right now, and then you're going to be starting at default 12 HP. And I did, this is the universal symbol for 12. Apparently, I did 10 with my other hand. You just couldn't see it. So this is going to be a mostly combat encounter. Obviously, if you haven't been following along, the members of the Undefeated, well, the chapters of the Undefeated are a band of do-gooders who basically have joined together after the Realm of Chervil has fallen under a political fracture. Someone's yelling in the background. That's my girlfriend. After a political fracture, and all of the counties have broken up basically and disbanded, and it's a very weakened, lots of small petty kingdoms, if that makes sense. So the Undefeated have banded together to try to bring the realm back together, unify under one king before some outside force comes and just takes advantage of the weakened place. And their adventures, this band of adventurers' adventures, have led them to the county of Selvas, where people were being kidnapped. And they looked into it, and they discovered that there was a necromancer who has been kidnapping people who are corrupt and killing them, and then using them in an army to create order over the county. So he is kind of like Robin Hood, this necromancer. Steals from the rich, gives to the poor, but he steals life and uses that undead life to, you know, do bad shit. So he's obviously at the pinnacle of, oh, what's that word? What is that word where you are really, really good? Ethics. Ethics. He's at the pinnacle of ethics. So that's a bit of the backstory, and this is what's going on. So, like I was saying, there's going to be a lot of combat, and this is how we're going to break down that combat. We're going to break it into 4 sections. All right. So first, you guys, I'm going to get you guys to roll the die. And you can do that on Discord by just typing 1d20. And that's going to just give you a random die roll. You'll see the roll and bot will pop up and say, this is what you rolled, a 12. And also, if you are, say, a fighter, and when you are fighting, when you're attacking, you're going to be using your strength. You are going to add your strength modifier to that, which some people it might be 4, some people it might be 5. So it's a 1d20 plus 5, and I think you have to do spaces. Yeah, there you go. So you can see the example there in the Discord chat. I rolled a 15, and then the bot did that. It added the extra modifier, gave plus 5, and now I'm at a 20. So go ahead and practice that in the chat. That's going to be the first section. Now, if you're rolling a spell, Dungeons and Dragons 5e has a kind of complicated spell system. We're just going to dumb it down completely. Whatever your spell is based on, if you are trying to roll like a damaging spell, so say you're a wizard and you're casting Fireball, I'm just going to say that you are going to, you are going to do just like add your intelligence modifier. All right. Just like you would add a strength modifier for a fighter, add your intelligence. And we'll get into it more. If you don't have a character sheet, there's going to be just a default number. You'll get a +2 to your attacks if you don't have one at this point. Part 2, you are going to describe your results. So I'm going to give you guys about 10 minutes or so to roll, like just to type up what happened. So we've decided, okay, the difficulty check was 10 and you rolled an 11. You hit. You've got 10 minutes now to figure out what exactly happened when you hit. You can say, oh, my sword, let's see, who's Marvin takes his dagger and stabs it into the toe of the shambling zombie, and it doesn't even move, but it gets stuck to the ground, and he jumps up and does some crazy acrobatics off the zombie's shoulder, and with another dagger slipped from his back pocket, he wraps his arm around the zombie and cuts the head right off. you could say something like that. And I'll describe it. I will be reading the comments. I'll be keeping an eye on them and reading them out loud in as epic a voice as I possibly can. I don't know if that's there yet, but we will see. Okay, so everybody seems to be getting a hang of the D20 rolling system. They're testing. Yeah, you might roll some crap rolls, Megan. Yeah, okay, so everybody's testing. Get the bad rolls out of the way, as Marvin Tanner says. So then round 3, which is where it gets interesting. Oh, and whether you guys hit, I'm not going to do any like special damage or anything like that. I'm just going to say that every thing that hits is going to do 3 damage, just to simplify things. Every hit is 3 damage. I'm going to write that down because I just made that up. Every hit, 3 damage. Okay. Next, we have step 3. We're going to be rolling monster damage. So that's going to happen on my end. I'm going to have I'm just going to roll a 1d20. And whatever number I roll plus a certain number, so it might be 1d20 plus 10 or 1d20 plus 5. Whatever number I get is going to be the amount of damage that is dealt out to the entire group. So if we have 8 people watching today, let's say, how many people do we have watching right now, actually? Does it say? Can I check that? Oh, 12 people watching. Oh, that's great. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Make sure you head over to the Discord chat and say hello if you haven't yet. Okay, so whatever number I'm going to I get when I'm doing the monster damage, that's going to be divided by how many people are here. So if I get a 24 on my roll and there's 12 people here, everybody takes 2 points of damage. Now, in this third section, you guys will be able to elect, okay, I'm a warrior, I'm going to take a little bit of extra damage. And in that case, the amount of damage that is dished out to everybody is going to be minimized because that one character is going to be taking a little bit more, if that makes sense. And lastly, part number 4, you guys are going to have another 5 to 10 minutes to describe how your character is impacted by the damage taken. Or if your character doesn't take any damage, or just takes like a grazing hit, describe how your character is going to be dodging out of the way of that. And again, I'm going to be reading that, trying to keep it good and intense. All right, so that is the explanation of the system. We're just going to try it this way. I am open afterwards to talk about whether or not it worked, what ways we can make it better. And so keep in mind, if you think that there's a way to improve the system, I want to make this as easy for me and as easy for you guys and exciting for you guys as possible. So keep, any notes or ideas you have at the back of your mind, and we'll go over them at the end. Yeah, and after each round, we're just going to go into discussion about how the battlefield changes after one round. So we're going to introduce something. I might do a roll, and if it's above 10, I might, do something that's beneficial to you guys. If it's below 10, I might do something that's bad for you guys. Oh, right. Brianna and Michael are sharing views. Okay, so we'll have to lower the number of people watching. I'm technically one of those views as well. So we can lower that down a little bit so that you guys get more damage. Fun. And lastly, the link. Okay, yeah, Matt, you found the link. I just saw your post on Facebook, Matt. So I'm glad you're here. You made it. You don't need me to comment on that anymore. Okay, next. What else do we have to do? It'll become clear as we go. So that's pretty much everything that I wanted to go over. Anything like special attacks or special spells that maybe aren't doing damage dealing or whatever, I'm just going to treat that as a regular attack for the purposes of this game. Again, it's not how D&D 5e would do it. There's definitely more complicated rules. But to keep things moving and to keep things straight in my mind, if you guys have a spell, like I think Marvin Tanner said something about Hexblade. Hexblade can curse an opponent to add proficiency bonus to damage. I'm going to say for the proficiency bonus, no, we're just going to keep things regular attribute points. But in your description, if you want to say that you are using that Hexblade to do the damage, I'm totally cool with that. If you want to use a spell like Sleep, and it doesn't technically do damage, but it is going to be beneficial to the group. And I'm kind of thinking I've got like an HP number in my head of how much damage this horde of zombies can take. So putting a few to sleep or making a few run while you're not actually doing damage, it is still going to be beneficial to the group, and it's going to make the combat easier. So I'm just going to treat that as HP bar going down. Okay. Ooh, there's a lot of talking. Oh my god. I don't talk this not much normally. Well, that's not true. I narrate for a living. I read entire books. So yes, I do talk this much, but not actually like thinking of ideas and sending those out into the world. I'm not used to this. Okay, so I'm just going to scroll up and look and see if we have any questions. Okay, I'm going back up to okay, Barrick Thorn got a natural 20 in the practice round. Fantastic. Like the video, you filthy animals. It's a message from some wonderful viewers, Michael and Brianna. Thank you. I and Puppet, rather. I has 14 HP. Puppet has 16. Ignorant Farmer NPC. You guys got a member of the militia with you, apparently. An Ignorant Farmer doesn't know anything about the Undefeated, but still wants to be involved. Maybe fighting with a pitchfork. This would be Zia, I believe. So be kind to the farmer, even though she might be a little ignorant. Okay, just kidding. We know Zia's not ignorant. Marbles. Everyone take extra damage except Marbles. That's very Marbles things to say. Somebody's got to put that little halfling in his place. Oh, but Barrick Thorn says, you got it. Okay, so just got you wrapped around his thumb there, Barrick. Yes, we went over the sharing views. Meg and Dawn. Let's see. Hexblade can curse opponent, and that proficiency bonus can use that. Okay. Went over that. Other way around. We each have a character. Oh, I see. Michael and Brianna. Okay, I got that backwards. You guys are two people. So why don't I try to do a count here? I'm going to take an attendance, and we're going to see who all is here. So far I have Marbles, the rogue, the halfling rogue. There's one. We have two. Zia, the ignorant farmer, who is going to be participating in this combat. And again, Zia, you've got a default of 12 HP and a +2 to your attacks. So keep that in mind. 3, we have I, who I believe is a bard. Is that right, Michael? And 4, we've got Puppet. Puppet the mage? Something? It's hard to remember all of them. You guys are going to have to remind me. The way that Barrick Thorn, and I can't remember who that is that Patrick LaFrance? Barrick Thorn has made his nickname. That is perfect. That shows me everything I need to know. Barrick Thorn, fighter, 20 HP. If you want to tag your race at the end of that, that would be even better, so I know how to describe you guys. But that is excellent. Thank you, Patrick, for that. That's 5. Barrick. Okay, we got Nilail. That's 8. Nilail. We've got Maeve. 10. Okay, we've got Barrick Thorn again. We've got Iron Poppet. We've got Inept Guard number 1. That's perfect. One of the town guardsmen's decided to follow in on the action. Hey, and this is actually maybe a really cool way to get some some interesting character, what was the word? Origin stories. Um, there's the Undefeated coming to town. You guys didn't get the basic training in the Undefeated, but Undefeated is always recruiting. So if you are just an ignorant farmer and you want to do a little good in Chervil, or you're an inept guard and you want to improve your guarding abilities, you know, the Undefeated might be the perfect choice for you. So inept guard number 1, again, this character starts with default 12 HP. Let's see. We got Maeve, Aurora Kyles. Aurora. Okay, more like encounter value keeps going down. Yes, David, you've got it. There's an encounter value, and whatever you guys are doing, that's going to be lowering the difficulty of it. Neelail says, Megan Dawn asks, I have a skill that allows me to always have a proficiency bonus ×2 on a couple attributes. Does that count or no? That sounds like a really cool skill. I'm going to say, if you have something like that, that it's going to keep the stat and it's something that you would have picked as a benefit to your character, like starting out, yes, that's fine. It's going to keep everything the same. I don't want to nerf you guys because you went about creating your character in a less conventional way. So yeah, if you've got a skill that says that, go for it. But if it is something that it's like use once per day or something like that, I'm going to say, no, you can't use that. This is just, we're going to keep this basic. So whatever we're going to create a baseline for your character, and it's going to stay at that baseline for the purposes of this. On your character sheet, or if you were to play a game outside of this community thing, totally, you do what you got to do, right? Hope that makes sense. We already got marbles down. We got Warg. Warg is here. Mike Fazio, Warg. Okay, boop, boop, boop. Eric Thorne, an apt guard, reporting for duty. I got a shovel, and I'm ready to whack. Okay, Ignorant Farmer has a shovel, not a pitchfork. I apologize. Matt McHale. Oh, Matt McHale is Barrack Thorne. Sorry. And who is I thinking of? Oh, who am I thinking of? Whatever. Doesn't matter. So we've got Marbles of the Rogue, Ignorant Farmer, I, Poppet, Barrack, Neelail, Maeve, Inept Guard number 1, Aurora, Warg. So we've got 10 people in this fight against 80 undead corpses and a Necromancer. So you guys are slightly outnumbered. More and more corpses are going to be shambling out of the woods. Right now, it's a manageable sum, maybe 20 or 30, but it's going to keep growing. It's going to keep growing, and things are going to get more intense as you fight in the mud and the muck of the Selvesian forest marsh. Ooh, I'm excited. I'm excited to see how this goes down. Unfortunately, Maeve starts this encounter prone if we're going to go from where we left off. David, that's awesome. That's really, really cool. Keep that detail in your mind. I'm not going to be penalizing you myself. You're going to be able to do that in your own descriptions. Again, I'm going to try to keep this as simple as possible. So if your character is prone, I'm not worried about movement or anything like that. I'm just worried about whether you hit your opponent and how much damage you do to that opponent. So if you hit, then you're going to be doing 3 damage. If you don't hit, you're not doing any damage. And what I really, really care about is your description afterwards. So say this is a perfect example, David. If you are prone and you roll the d20 in the first round and you miss, then you are going to be able to explain in the description why you miss. So Maeve tries to push herself out of the mud, and her hand catches a bit of muck that just slips forward, and she slides back into the mud, doesn't even have a chance to attack. So that explains why you don't damage any zombies. But if you do hit, then you could say Maeve rolls herself back onto her hands and shoulders and pushes herself up, doing a flip back onto her feet. And the momentum carries her sword around just as a zombie is lunging only inches away from her throat. And she impales it, and then blah, 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 blah. The zombie dies. All right. Does that make sense? And the way also, like, if you want to describe yourself taking out 2 zombies or taking out 4 zombies or whatever, go for it. I mean, within reason, as long as you're not just saying like, "Oh, I take out 80 zombies with this one move." There's so many zombies that we don't really need to count exactly how many there are. Again, if you hit 3 damage to the entire encounter challenge ranking. Any other questions? Let's see. 80 undead corpses. Wow, they don't stand a chance. Axel and Axe's nickname is Headlopper. That's a good nickname. Okay, so Marbles is going to go after the Necromancer. So the Necromancer has its own stats, which there might be something keeping you guys, preventing you from getting to the Necromancer. So you can go for it, but yeah, I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work. I'm just going to play it by ear. We'll see what happens. I'm going to try to keep things fair, but in the end, I'm going to go for the story as much as I can. So let's see. Okay, and oh, Crather is here. Crather. Okay, so Dustin asks, sorry, he has to bail for another call. Crather is happy to throw heals around as needed and cast Fairy Fire on the Necromancer if Justin wants folks to have an advantage to hit. Aloha all, he says. Well, thank you for stopping by, Dustin. Always great to see you. Hope you're doing well. And yeah, maybe I'll see if I can mix in some heals or whatever. That would be a good way to incorporate the post round the post round environmental changes. So maybe Crathrower will create a buff that improves everybody's rolls by +2. Again, it's not D&D rules, but hey, whatever. For the next round rather. So anyways, we're going to jump into it very, very soon. I'm going to recommend that you start some cool epic combat music, and I will be right back. I'm just going to run into the kitchen for a second, and we will get this show on the road. Be right back. Okay. Hopefully you guys have your epic music going. Oh, you know what? I'm going to put on some epic music for me. Let's see. Epic fantasy music. Probably a playlist. 3 hours of epic, powerful fantasy music. Legendary mega mix. So let's see what this sounds like. Okay. All right. I'm going to turn this down. There we go. Okay. So I got some music in my headphones. Hopefully you guys do too. Let me just check on the comments before we get started. You shall be my squishy, and squishy you shall be. Littlest gets the heels. Drinks break. Barrack is buying. I'm not that big. LOL. You're a giant in your own mind, Marbles. I'm picturing this as the combat banter as all of your characters are slashing at the undead horde. This is a really sad playlist so far. You're a giant in your own mind, Marbles, says Maeve. I just want those undead to stay away from my potatoes. I just want those undead to stay away from my potatoes, says the ignorant farmer. I'll be a damage sponge if necessary. That's what we guards do. Well, and guard stuff. Well, and guard stuff. Sometimes I think people forget D&D elves aren't tall like Middle-earth elves, and that damnable Drist. That was a thought in Maeve's head. She just had that thought as she was slashing at a zombie. Marbles is the greatest to anyone with a mind, Maeve. Marvels is thinking. They're my livelihood, you damn zombies, as the ignorant farmer. Aurora Kyles. I don't think I have any chemicals or herbs that would protect your potatoes. Laugh out loud. There are two in Maeve's head. I'm trying to keep track of the different conversations going on, but it's tricky. All right. Without further ado, I'm at the bottom of the chat, keeping an eye on you guys. Let's get into this community mission, Chapters of the Undefeated, the Necromancer, Chapter 1, the conclusion. Purple and black energy explodes from Maeve's hands, smashing into the face of one of the advancing undead. As it falls backward, another staggers toward Maeve from behind, catching her by surprise. Scanning the battlefield, Nilael catches a glimpse of the monster reaching for Maeve, and in an instant, a dagger is zipping through the air. It catches the corpse in the back of its skull, and it falls to its knees. Her eyes meet Maeve's once as she draws her short sword and lunges toward two more of the attackers. A shadow blurs under Nilael's legs as she leaps from the ground. A nimble halfling weaves his way between much taller beings. Finding a zombie on its knees, the halfling called Marbles scampers up the creature's back and sticks a dagger in its skull for good measure. He then hops off and is forced back into the center of the fray, finds himself behind a bulky dwarf swinging a massive battle hammer. Cassandra arcs through the air, her solid head connecting with the neck of an undead elf, causing a loud crack. Another approaches from the side, and Alistair brings Cassandra down low, taking out its shins. It collapses to the ground, and as it reaches a rotting arm toward the dwarf's ankle, a sickening splat sounds as a heavy boot comes crashing down on its head. Gray brain matter mixed with mud splashes up from the impact and hits Marble in the face. The halfling sticks a dagger in the mutilated corpse, again, for good measure. He looks up in time to see two more zombies approaching. He shrouds himself in his cloak and waits for them to draw near enough for him to sneak up their backs and slit their throats. An axe soars overhead, slashing clean through the arm of one of the undead. Adalric pulls the axe free as he brings a sharpened blade down on the leg of the same zombie. As his foe begins to fall, Adalric spins swiftly, his blade sinking into the head of a skeleton, cutting it in half and sending the eviscerated cap flying into the air like a bottle cap. He stopped for a moment to catch his breath and finds himself staring down a gathering crowd of undead. Wiping sweat and mud from his face, he lets out a hate-filled shout and charges the unholy creatures. Throughout all of this, the Necromancer stands across the shallow pool, waiting. There's no way this handful of over-glorified, undefeated mercenaries would defeat his army of undead, at least 80 strong. Even if they did, he had a trick up his sleeve. So, round one. Let's get some rolls. I've got 10 people here. Krathor standing in the middle is going to be offering some heals, but we'll get to that later. 10 of you. Let's see the attack. So 1d20 plus your attack modifier, whatever that may be. Maximum of +5, most likely. and a +2 if you are just creating a character today. So ignorant farmer and inept guard number 1, you guys are going to be adding +2 to your attack. And again, the descriptions will be coming in the next round. So right now, we are focusing on rolls. So Maeve rolled a 7 + 5, which is a 12. Your difficulty check is 12. So Maeve, you hit. Then we have marbles. 1d20 + 6, 17 is the total, which is definitely a hit. Inept guard, 1d20 + 2. Okay, so inept guard, I need you to roll that again. I need you to type into Discord 1, the letter D, 20 + 2, and then the bot should kick in and do the roll for you. Then we have Barrack Thorn, 1d20 + 3, that is a 10. Unfortunately, Barrack, as you run toward the crowd of undead, you miss your attack. We have I is rolling first. I gets a 7. Unfortunately, that is not enough to do any damage to the undead horde. Nilale, 15 + 3. We have an 18. That is a hit. 18. Excellent. We have ignorant farmer, 1d20 + 2, which is a 14. Inept guard rolls again. Perfect. We've got a 17. That is a hit. And Aurora Kyles, I don't believe you have rolled yet. Yep. Okay, there we go. I see it now. We have Warg attacking. 1d20 + 4 is 19 + 4, 23. Warg with style. Orc Barbarian. Aurora Kyles, you rolled. You got a 5. Unfortunately, that is not enough. So you'll be describing how you miss. However, Poppet rolls a 19, which is a hit. Definitely. Maeve is happy to know that her fantastic rolls continue. And Inept Guard, we got it. That's everybody. Everybody's rolled. All 10 of you. Thank you very much for making that quick and painless. So, you've each rolled. Marble succeeded. Ignorant Farmer succeeded. I failed, but Poppet hit. Barrack failed. Nanail succeeded. Maeve succeeded. Inept Guard succeeded. Aurora failed. Warg succeeded. So in total, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. In total, you guys did 21 damage to the horde of zombies. Please, describe that for me. I really hope that you guys have music playing right now because it's making everything so much more badass for me. Cool. I'm digging this. If anybody's interested, I'm going to post the link to the music that I'm listening to right now. Oh, go figure. It actually just stopped. Hopefully I'm still here. The music stopped, though. Let me know if you guys can still hear me. Bum 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 bo 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 bum bo bo. I was just saying how great this playlist is, and then it just stops. Oh, there we go. Okay. Just needed to refresh the page. As simple as that. Okay. So we got a couple comments going through, but I'm just going to wait for a few others to pop up. Doesn't have to be very long, can just be a few sentences. Doesn't have to be very witty either, but I'd love to see you guys interact with the terrain. I would love to see, people using the mud and tripping them and kicking them into pools of water, or using a low-hanging vine to strangle them. I don't know. The vine would probably snap, but stuff like that. Also, I would love to see people working together, watching what other players have done, maybe more in the second round, seeing what other undefeated mercenaries have done, and building off of that. So I see Nilale throw a dagger at one of the zombies and rush towards it as another zombie reaches toward her ankle. It's about to get her, and I slam my axe down. Nilale doesn't even notice. Something like that. Love to see the interaction. Several people are typing. That's cool to see. Okay, and I'm going to take this time to put the Discord up. Let's see, in the Facebook group. Okay, let's see. And I see people have been watching on YouTube. If you guys want to join in, I just posted the Discord to YouTube. So click on that. You can join in. The stream is, well, actually, that link should take you right to the conversation. But yeah, if you're wondering where it is, it should be under role playing, actually. But I've got it under gaming streams, I think. Where do I have it? Oh, yeah, I've got it under the stream. So this is the Necromancer conclusion. All right, so we got a few more. We got 3 more. Let's see. We've got 5 descriptions total. We're waiting on 5 more. And also, if you join the chat, anybody watching from YouTube, I see we've got a couple more. Just say hello. Say what kind of character you're thinking about making. And it doesn't have to be D&D specific, but just you're going to be starting out with 12 HP, yada, yada, yada. If you've been watching, you'll get that. But we'll try to keep you up to speed. All right. So I think we've got enough comments here to get started. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As of I and Poppet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we've got everybody so far. Let's get started. Maeve scrambles back into a hunch in the mud as it continues to sink deeper into her clothing. Holding up her gauntleted right hand, she lets forth an eldritch blast into the nearest approaching abomination. I need to get to the edges, she thinks to herself. I'm too vulnerable here. As she thinks this, Barrick swings Axel ungraciously through the air nearby. The zombie drone to his front, its target. At the last possible moment, the zombie steps into a pothole in the field, lowering his head to below the reach of his axe, leaving him open to the zombie's claws. And as the zombie is lunging forward towards Barrick, we see Nilale. She leaps past Marbles, sliding through the mud and splashing the legs of a zombie running for him. As Nilale gets herself dirty, the inept guard, number 1, smashes into an oncoming zombie with his shield, following up with an overhead slice, splitting its head in 2, then sliding back to crouch in front of Marbles. I'm sure he's panting to himself. He's never seen this kind of combat before. Never even seen an undead. Or maybe he has. Who knows? Inept guard number 1. It's up to you. Has your character seen an undead before? Warg stands silently, grasping his great axe, taking in the putrid air around him. With all the depths of his soul, he lets out a loud roar, then glares. He spins furiously, slashing 2 zombies completely in half. Their bodies collapse on the ground, letting rotting organs and intestines slump out into the muck and blending in with the dark mud. Eye stabs at the zombie behind Poppet. His blade slides commercially between the zombie's ribs. Eye pauses and looks confusedly at the zombie with a shrug of the shoulders and a huh. Huh. Poppet turns around, abashed at losing track of the battle, at Eye losing track of the battle, and strikes the zombie in the head with her fist, tightly grasping her holy symbol. There is a small flash of light as the zombie's head explodes squishily. Ignofar, the ignorant farmer, roars as she smashes her shovel across a zombie's head as it lunges at one of the strangers she volunteered to fight for. It's a very brave farmer who is sacrificing her life and livelihood, just a peaceful farming existence, to take care of these zombies. And this necromancer, yeah, it's very touching. Marbles is hiding behind Barrick's fat butt. As the zombie slips, he rolls behind the undead and slashes his blade into it. The rotting flesh falls away. He pushes his way through the corpse's stomach. Shit! I thought the smelt bad on the outside, grins Marble. Oh no, okay, I'm gonna say that again. Shit! I thought that smelt bad on the outside, grins Marbles. He's grinning. I should have added that. Aurora Kyles, trying to figure out how to be useful, muttering, smoke screens won't work. Zombies would be unfazed. Maybe make some acid bombs? Reached into a pouch of mixed liquids into ceramic ball containers. Huh, these should work. At least slow them down, melt the flesh and stop them still. Very proud of finishing the acid bombs quickly, and goes to hurl some at the zombies, but they fall short and nearly splash at her feet. Marbles likes big butts, and he cannot lie. Fantastic. That is the end of round 2. Those were all the descriptions. Thank you very much, guys, for your creativity. Absolutely fantastic. We're going to move on to round 3. Ooh, I'm getting dizzy. I need to breathe more. Ooh, okay. Note from Zia, Ignofar's never been in battle. Breaking up bar fights and chasing off foxes is one thing, but this, she feels her blood boil. She likes this. She grins and runs for the next foe. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to mute my battle music a little bit. Excellent. So we've got 10 people here. You guys are doing absolutely fantastic, describing and rolling and keeping this moving along. I'm going to go ahead and do one roll for the undead. And I'm going to do 1d20 plus 15. And the reason I'm doing plus 15 is this number is going to get smaller and smaller as the fighting goes on. So here we go. This is section 3. Round 1.3. Round 1C. How that works. Round 1C. Zombies are attacking you guys. Whoa! That's not bad at all. You guys barely took any damage. So I'm going to round that up, because I'm the dungeon master, to a 20. 20 points of damage is taken between the party. Now, naturally, that would divide into 2 damage each. But if anybody wants to step forward, they can elect to take more of that damage, and that's going to lower that pool. So are there any takers? Anybody want to take more damage to try and get that number down to 1 for other people? And the 5 damage will have to be absorbed by other people in order for the characters to lose only 1 HP. Oh my god! You all promised to take Marbles' damage! Nilail is looking for help. Okay, so Inept Guard at 12 HP decides to take 3. So the total pool is down to 18. And if we can get that down to 14, then I'm going to round that down to 10. And people are only going to be taking 1 point of damage, except for the people who elected to take more. Barrack Thorn has taken 5 points of damage. That is an extra 3. So that brings 18 down to 15. If one more person will take damage, take 3 damage instead of 2, then everybody else will take 1 point of damage. Barrack Thorn absorbing damage like a mofo. 5 points of damage. That's a quarter of Barrack's health. That's quite a bit. Barrack, if you when you describe that, I'd love to see that included. How are these zombies just digging into you? Okay, Warg has elected to take 3. That brings it down to 14, which I will round down, which means that everyone else takes 1 HP. And now I know it's not the most foolproof math. It's definitely not totally, fair, I guess. But I like this system. Why not? Let's keep it that way. So Barrack's going to be taking 5 damage. Let's see. Inept Guard's taking 3. And Warg is taking another 3 points of damage. Everybody else just going to be taking 1. Good stuff. So if you can change your name again and make that reflect in the chat, then that'll be great. That'll keep everything nice and obvious for me, how you guys are doing, if you're holding it up. Okay, so you guys were just hit by zombies, some only a little, some were just grazing hits, and some of you guys got hit real bad. Barrack Thorn, boom, 5 HP. That's quite a sacrifice. Hope you guys are going to be helping Barrack out in the future. This is part 4, round 1D. I want you guys to take the next 5-10 minutes, write out a little description of what happens. How do the zombies get you? All right? Cool. So you guys do that. I'm going to give my voice a little break, so feel free to turn up your music a bit. All right? I'll be right back. All right, how we doing? Let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 10. Okay, let's do this. So, you know what I gotta do? I gotta sit with better posture because you know what I'm finding? I'm finding that whenever I stream, I lean forward like this, kind of like, a grandpa a little bit. I lean forward and I stick my neck out, which is not very good for my neck. I really should sit back like this, but then you guys can't hear me as well. I really gotta relax my voice here. I'm gonna turn it up so I can just kind of whisper. There we go. Is that better, everybody? Um, by the way, the sultry stream was totally a joke. I posted that picture on the Facebook group today, just because Harlan has the spooky stream, that Joe has the sunny stream. And I was like, I gotta get in on this. So I came up with the sultry stream. I don't know what happened, but it started as a joke, and now I think it might become a thing. So I don't know if that's gonna mean me, reading things in a Barry White voice over the stream, or if I'm going to be reading anything at all. Maybe it'll just be a striptease the whole show. So if you guys see my posture, oh yeah, back to the posture thing. This has nothing to do with Soldier Stream. If you see my posture kind of getting crappy, please correct me. Maybe I'll stick my mic back here so I have to sit back like this. All right, let's do this. I'm going to turn on my epic music again, which keeps on freezing on me. All right, here we go. Back to the marsh, back to the swamp, where the undefeated are fighting against hordes of the undead. Where was I? Oh yeah, there we go. Fleeing for the edges, Maeve catches her ankle in a root spinning into a tree. As she catches her balance, she slams her shoulder into a tree, a numbing shock running down her arm. Grimacing, she turns to take her frustration out on the nearest zombie. A downed, nearly dead zombie grabs Ignofar's ankle. She trips and feels its nails dig into her skin. Getting up, she growls and slams her shovel into its neck, severing its head and finishing it off. Warg finishes swinging, only to fall to one knee in the thick mud. Grasping frantically to get up, he grabs hold of a zombie's foot. It rips right off, and the zombie falls face to face with Warg. He tries to flip the zombie over, and it does, but the claw marks left on his face will leave a scar in remembrance of this putrid beast. The precarious position in which Beric finds himself, axe swung high above the zombie's head, meant the zombie in front of him lunged forward despite Marbles' gutting it. The zombie's claws sinking into his skin, rending him deeply on the left side as it topples to the ground. Nilale, still down in the mud, struggles to get up. She slips her arms, unable to push her off the slick ground. As she tries again, one of the undead running for something else plows right into her, not even noticing her tiny body on the ground. Its knees connect with her temple, and for a moment, she's dazed. I'm picturing that just like getting knocked like in the movies, and just like that whining, hissing noise, that ee, as Nilale's looking around and seeing foggy the combat around her, and just kind of what's going on for a second before she snaps out of it, then probably jumps back up. Poppet's timely strike is a little overextended. As the zombie's head turns to gory spray, its spine digs a gash in her arm as it falls. Ai braces a foot against the zombie as he pulls his rapier free. He overexerts himself, throwing himself bodily into another zombie that takes a swing at him. Aurora Kyles. After watching the acid bombs fall short and break mercilessly against the ground, reaching back into the pack, Her hand grazes a dagger. It is the only ready weapon she has that doesn't need to be mixed, boiled, burnt, or else wise remade. The zombies she attempted to strike with the acid clamber forward, lurching fast. Panicked, she tries to step back and get a better footing as they close in. As they reach for her flesh, her ankle rolls and she stumbles back onto the ground just outside their grasp. The dagger loosely held in her sweaty palm and breath ragged. I never imagined to be involved in this. I must be quicker than this. Meanwhile, inept guard number 1. On the slide back, he was not aware of the zombie behind him, which slams into his back and in reaction bites down on his left shoulder where his leather armor has slid to the side. He swings his shield up to bash it off, doing no visible damage, but freeing him from the creature's bite. "Begone, damned creature!" Marbles slips right into Barrack's butt. So first sentence of Marbles is always something to do with butts. Marbles slips and right runs into Barrack's butt. Bouncing off like a rubber ball, hit by a massive bat, he flies into the zombie. Inept guard smashed and is crushed. He flies into the zombie, the inept guard smashed and is crushed. Inept! Inept! He shouts. Change your name if you're gonna join the Undefeated! It's true. Oh no, am I crackling? Let me know if it's still happening. Am I still crackling, guys? Let me double check this. Oh, Mike Kyle's here. Hello, Mike. Am I still here? Am I still there? I'm going to look. I'm going to check out the... Doesn't sound like I'm crackling. Okay, I'm good. Woo. Well, that is the end of round 1. Nice. Good job, guys. Really great descriptions. I hope you don't mind. I've just been switching. If you've been writing it in the first person perspective, I've just been switching it to third, just because it keeps a little bit of the immersion. If I'm saying him, because because it's not actually me doing it. So I'm picturing this from a omniscient narrator, third person narrator perspective. Mike, Kyle, feel free to just create a character. Oh, wait, you've already got a character. So what I'd like you to do, Mike, if you're going to be hanging around with us, go to the right-hand side, right-click on your name, and then type change nickname. And Marbles kind of had a point. Also, inept guard number 1. You're in the battle now. You're practically one of the Undefeated. I imagine Marbles actually shouts, "What's your name?" to the guard that he's helping out. Also, great job, Mervin, and everybody else who's been doing it, talking about what the other characters have been doing. That's absolutely great. Keep that up. Boom, 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 boom. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this so far, guys. I hope you are too. I think what I'm going to do for next time, I'm going to try to set it up in a way that I can have music playing in the background. Because, I mean, you guys can have your own music playing and that's cool, but I kind of like the idea of, just the uniform fantasy music playing, and then I can kind of time my narration to it and stuff. And I've seen a lot of artists and stuff on Twitch do have music playing in the background, so it's got to be doable. Hopefully it won't get flagged. There's got to be a way of doing it without it getting flagged. So that'd be cool. I'm glad you're having fun, Mike. And everybody else, yeah, if you're enjoying this, please let me know. It'll give me warm, fuzzy feelings. So, end of round 1. We got to change the scene up a little bit. So I want one. Why don't we do it this way? I want one beneficial thing to happen, and then I want one negative thing to happen. So for the beneficial thing, I'm going to say this. The druid, Krathor, who is not taking part in the combat at the moment. He's staying off to himself and healing those who need it, and looking for, opportunities to help. He just sees the amount of undead that are coming, and he doesn't think that you guys are going to have enough power to defeat them quickly enough. So he's going to do a spell. I don't know if this is actually a legit spell, especially for, it's definitely not a legit spell for a level 1 druid or level 2 druid, I think he is. But whatever, I'm going to say that this round, going into round 2, you guys are going to do double damage, okay? So instead of doing 3 points of damage, you're going to do 6 when you hit. Again, you've got to hit, but if you do, then you're going to be doing more damage. And again, it's not technical damage, but the way it's having an effect on your role playing and whatever you guys type is that Krathur is inspiring you. And how is Krathur inspiring you? Krathur is temporarily going to light up the area with a nice, bright, sunny glow. And it's going to illuminate the zombies really, really well. But it also just gives you a warmth and just softens that hard edge of fear that everybody's feeling. Everybody just feels the warmth of someone who cares. And this, whatever happens. It's less scary in some way. So Krathur is inspiring you. Now, yep, all good. If you changed your name, Phileas Flag, that's perfect. Phileas Flag, just change your name to include your health as well, and also your class if you want to. Health is the most important. Okay, what else have we got? I kind of have to do the face posts now. I'm attached to Ignofire. Ignofire is a great name. Yeah, you do have to do the face posts now. You don't have to, but you have to. Okay, back to it. So that was the beneficial thing. Krathor giving you guys a buff. The negative thing. Give me some ideas for something negative that could be happening. The Necromancer is a man of mystery. So maybe he casts a spell that make things more difficult for you guys. Or maybe he summons a new creature that makes things a little bit more difficult for you guys. I may not do this every round because I think it's going to add a lot of extra time. But what do you guys think? Fog is a great idea. The thing with fog is it kind of negates what Krathor is doing, unless we, yeah, I don't know. That would kind of take away, I think. Let's see. Oh, an earthquake. Oh, that could work. So some sort of, you guys are leaning more towards like some sort of environmental thing. Can he make you hallucinate? That's a good question. Okay. All right. I keep on seeing you guys. All of these comments are fantastic from all of them. From, okay. I see one comment that I'm definitely going to use, but I'm going to save that for the next round. So for now, I'm just going to use Krathor's good bonus. And in leading into round 3, I'm going to use one of these comments that I think will be really interesting and cool. All right, let's get back into let's go into round 2. Excuse me. I'm drinking beer, by the way, and I'm burping a lot. So I hope you don't mind. So, round 2. Everybody, go ahead, roll your 1d20, add your modifier. If you've just joined us and you've created a character, Eric Thompson, I know that you're watching. If you want to join in and create a character, you're more than welcome to. Just like Rune here and Ignofar, the ignorant orc farmer. Oh, okay. He says not this time. Just started. Okay. So just listening. Perfect. Okay. Well, anytime you want to jump in, Invictus stream, you're in the Facebook group, so you'll have lots of opportunities to join, create your own character. Whoa, look at all these rolls. This is fantastic. All right. So let's do that. All right. Let's see what do we got here. So again, your DC is 12, but we're going to be doing double damage here. Some real double damage. Okay, so somebody rolled. Who rolled? Oh, I Hork be a puppet rolled. It was a 1d20, but we're missing, whether it was I or Poppet that rolled, we're missing the attack modifier. So whatever that would be is plus. Oh, Aurora Kyles, oh no! You rolled you rolled a 2. Oh, poor Aurora. Just not, rolls are not on your side this time, Aurora. Okay, so I'm going to say that Poppet got 19, which was exactly what she got last time. I'm going to say Ignofar. Oh, Ignofar got 8. Not enough. Oh, no. Oh no. Rune got 9. It's not enough. Come on, guys. Get your shit together. Whoa, Maeve. Holy. 24. That is a super hit. Congratulations. Okay. Oh, no. Warg didn't hit. This is brutal. 9. Barrack Thorn. 19 is a hit. Oh, and Nalail hits. Okay. 19. Nalail is 18. Oh, I got an 11. It's just one short. That's a miss. Oh no. Marbles got 7. That's a miss. Brutal. Oh my god. Oh, what happened? So Borg says he messed up a roll with the modifier. +2. Got it now. Okay, well, let's see. Okay, I'm confused. So did I hit or did Poppet hit? One of them hit, one of them missed. I'm not sure. It doesn't matter, I don't think. Or maybe it does. Maybe we should get I to hit this time. So pretty much everybody missed except for 5 of you. Whoa. Wow, this is intense. Oh, let's see. Aphelios flag. Oh, okay. So Mike Kyle, I want you to re-roll. What you're going to do is you're going to type in chat just the number 1, the letter D, and then 20 plus sign whatever your modifier is. So you say your modifier is 5, right? So literally just type 1d20 plus 5 in chat, and then the bot will take over. Yeah, it's a good thing you guys did double damage. So 5 times 3, 15 times 2. Let's see if Felius hits. Oh no, Felius misses. Oh boy. But at least Felius is there to help absorb some of the damage. So, oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, I guess that could be great. Their spell inspired you, but also made you just miss everything. And maybe it had nothing to do with Krathor. Perfect. Okay, so you guys know who hit, you guys know who missed. You guys did still do 30 damage this time, so it's not all bad. It's more than you did last time, actually. But let's see. Okay, now you got some time to type out what happens. So go ahead, turn up your music, and get to typing. Boom, boom. And I don't know why, but my epic music keeps on freezing whenever I click on it in YouTube. It's very disheartening. Yes, yeah, your mic, your roll did show up, Mike. It just wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. Oh. Oh. That's what a zombie sounds like. Zombie. I am a zombie. This is, I would be doing this even if I wasn't on stream. If it was just me, on Facebook or whatever, that's what I would be doing, making zombie impressions. Oh, we got a new joiner. Hello, Mr. Willie. Welcome to Chapters of the Undefeated Community Mission, Chapter 1 Conclusion. You're just tuning in, so this is a perfect opportunity for me to give you a rundown of what is going on. Mr. Willie, if you haven't already joined the Facebook group, the Invictus Stream Facebook group, you can find us there. There's a page, there's a group. Join the group. Are you in the Facebook group? If so, who are you? As for what's going on here, the past few months, the people that you see here, as well as myself, have created characters, and we've set them in a D&D 5e world that we're calling Chervil, the Realm of Chervil. And this is tying into the campaign that we're actually running on the Invictus stream with myself and Harland Guthrie and Alex Guthrie and Joe Fallick. And Evan Wilson. Oh, hey, Evan. Okay, great. So you know what the deal is then. What I need from you is to change your nickname on Discord. Just right-click on your nickname and change it to a character name. If you've created a character for the Undefeated already, use that character. If you haven't, then just make something up. We've got a town guard from the nearby town that the Undefeated just recently came from. We've got an ignorant farmer from, the farms nearby. So you can be anybody. You can be, a traveling merchant or, just a mercenary that wants to help out. Essentially, we have been fighting a necromancer, or everybody here has been fighting a necromancer, who has been creating an army to bring, from his perspective, what would be stability in the county. But the Undefeated members here, they thought that this guy was being completely unethical, killing people and then bringing them back to life to serve as an army, undead slaves. It's not cool, right? So they've decided to confront him in battle to the death. All right, so that's basically what's going on, Evan. Feel free, to change your name to just a random character if you want. You can just create a character name and do that, or you can just say Town Guard, Inept Guard number 2 or something if you want to. It's all cool. Okay, what is the ground and terrain like? Good question, Mike. This is a marsh. You are in the marshes of the Selvesian forest, about a 30-minute run from the village of Hex, which is nearby. And this is a very, swampy, mucky ground that you are confronting the necromancer in. I believe it was Maeve and Nilale that tracked the necromancer to this location. And then someone went back, might have been Nilale, who went back to alert the others and say, hey, we found this guy, come, let's, put an end to this. So let's see, how many do we have? So we've got 12 people now. Yeah. 12, I think, if Evan Wilson's going to be joining in. Lots of bugs. Tons and tons and tons of bugs flying around. Mike. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, and by the way, so I for you guys who are new, who've just joined us, this is your opportunity. We've done some roles, and now it's your opportunity to describe what your character is doing in the combat. So Mike Felius is, I'm imagining, fighting alongside your undefeated partners, and just to, like, type a couple sentences of how you missed. I think, yes, because Felius did miss. So just to describe, like, how did he miss? So a zombie lunged at him, and Felius was just about to swing to take out one of its legs when he drops his sword, and he's got to fumble in the muck to find it. Something like that. You'll see the example. I'm going to start reading here. I know I see that several people are typing, so I'll just wait a couple more minutes. And also, very, very important for anybody who's just joined us, I want you to put on some epic fantasy music in the background. You can find like hour-long playlists and stuff like that on YouTube. Put something on. It just kind of adds to the experience to have some cool music going on. Barrack Thorne's got to disappear. He'll be listening but can't reply. Marbles, narrate for me, buddy. Okay. So Marbles, if you want, you can do kind of what Michael and Brianna are doing and just take Barrack's attacks and include them in your own description, if you're cool with that. If you don't want to, then I'm not going to force you, and I doubt that Matt would force you to, but okay. Okay, so it looks like Barrack is just doing one more roll in advance, and it looks like next time he's going to hit and then miss afterwards. Okay. See you later, Matt. I know you're going to be listening, though, so that's cool. Great. So I'm going to go up. I'm going to start reading these descriptions. Here we go, starting with Borg. And I'm going to jump ahead a little bit in my mix here. Warg gets up quickly and gleams in the light, looking for his next target, when the bodies that Maeve destroyed come into view. Fast! He's knocked down and covered in the bones of his enemies. I didn't read that right. When the bodies that Maeve destroyed come into view. Fast! He's knocked down and covered in the bones of his enemies. Perfect. As Ignifar sees her friend Aurora in the fray, she tries to run towards her and gets accidentally clotheslined by a fellow fighter attacking a zombie. Excellent. Poppet is startled by the sudden glow and falls on her butt. Eye strikes his rapier against the head of the nearest zombie, causing it to vibrate with a clear, resonant tone. The sound causes the nearest few zombies to collapse in a heap of bones and rot. Still struggling from the shock of fighting zombies and having a nasty bite taken from his shoulder, Rune's nerves are clearly rattled by his next sword swing. And his next sword swing sails wide as he attempts to take another zombie's head, and stops just short of hitting one of his new comrades. Aurora, feeling Krathor's spell swell over her like a warm breeze. Suddenly, bursting with confidence, she pulls herself off the ground, angling her body, dagger clasped firmly, lunging towards one of the zombies. Hearing allies hit and seeing some get hurt in the corner of her eye, she misses. The blade that was intended to plunge into the zombie's skull from underneath its chin. With a quick shink sound, she falls forward on top of the live zombie with her scrambling to get away. Inspired by the sudden appearance of light as if it were the brightest day, Barrack keeps moving forward toward the center of the massed zombie army. Sweeping up to the sky, he slices the zombie with a mighty roar, severing its head from its neck. Nalael comes out of her daze, still in the mud. She shakes her head, clearing her mind. An undead goes to run by her, and she lurches at it, using its momentum to lift herself, and then planting her feet, still holding it tightly by the ragged shirt, sending it crashing head first into the ground. Its neck snaps with a loud crack. She walks back to where she was, grabbing her dual short swords from the mud and snapping them out from her body, flinging the mud from them. Felius flag. Lots of bugs? There are lots of bugs out here, guys? There's lots of bugs out here. Just kidding, Mike. Marbles is not a nice boy. Being blessed by a druid upsets his karma. Silently stalking a skeleton, he slips on the mud and is trampled by an obese zombie charging towards Rune. He shakes his little fist at the he shakes his little fist at the just God in the sky. Just in the sky. All right. We're down to Maeve. A warm light envelops Maeve, warming her wet mud-covered joints. In the light, she sees the zombies converging on one side of the line. Several of her companions are pushed back, swinging wildly just to keep the zombies at bay. Against her better judgment, she crashes into the flank of the zombies. Whispering the words of power, she slams her sword into a zombie, her sword bursting into green flame. The flame jumps to the next zombie, its skull exploding in green fire. She swings wildly, forcing more to the side, making room for her companions to gain their footing. Whew. Felt like the 24 needed some panache. Yeah, definitely. That was awesome. Felius trudges forward, mud and muck sucking his boots down with every step. Nice. When he's about to shoot his longbow at a lurching zombie, a swarm of bugs picks that moment to feed on the sweat on his face. They form a buzzing cloud, and his arrow flies off into nothingness. Great description, Mike. I love that. Okay. Zia is listening to Nier Gestalt soundtrack for battle music. Sweet. Adrenaline has now hit Maeve. She suddenly bursts into an old elven battle tune. Oh, cool. Yes, we do have those old elven battle tunes on YouTube. Excellent. Thank you very much, guys, for those descriptions. We're going to move right into round 3, where I'm going to be rolling, and we're going to be adding that and seeing how much damage is taken by the party. So I'm going to go ahead and roll a 1d20, and this time I'm going to add plus 10 because you guys have damaged so many of them. 21, which is, yeah, still not bad. So I think that's maybe what you guys got last time, something similar. Or you guys got 19 last time. So 21 is the roll. There are 12, or I think there's 11 people here. So 12 divided by 11. I'm going to round that up to 2 points. Yet again, 2 points of damage. And how many would that be? If you want to lower this, again, you've got to get it down under 15, so 14. So we would need 6 points of damage to be dispersed among different characters for that to go under 14. Might not be worth it. But, like, if everybody's taking 2 damage... Oh, Aurora Kyles is going to take 3. Excellent, Aurora. Thank you for that. So, 21... Warg is going to take 4. So that's going to lower it by 2. We're down to 18. 4 more points. 4 more points. Whoa! Oh my god, that's hilarious. Marbles, you jerk. Barrick will take 10 HP for the team. He's just joking. But he's not even here. That's so funny. But he's listening. He is here. He's probably... We're going to coax him back on. Killing off his character. Laugh my ass off. Oh, marbles. Okay, Rune's going to take 3 again. So we've dropped that down to 17. We've got 3 more points. Are you going to take 2 extra? The way the points are work is that you're going to be taking 2 points minimum unless enough other people are taking or you're going to be taking 2 points damage maximum unless somebody else jumps in and takes those points. Just for that, Marbles is going to take 3. So we're down to 16. So if you're saying that you're going to take an extra 2 points of damage, then that would bring you down to 8 HP, Mike. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, I think I saw someone new in the chat. Willard Bighorn, the Warlock. Cool. I'm excited. Just going to wait for these comments to go through. Don't know if anybody is going to be trying to take those last 2 HP. It looks like Warg is getting down there on HP. Poor guy, he's down to... Oh, Warg, I don't know if you did your math right. You said you'd take 4, but you went down to 4 HP. You should be at 5, I think, right? What do we still need? We're at 16. We need to get it to 14 in order for everybody else to only take 1 HP. So if that's going to happen, we'll find out in a second. Bum, bum, bum. Maeve! Maeve is going to take them as part of her heroics. So Maeve... go ahead and adjust your HP, and we are down to 14, which means that everybody else is only going to be taking 1 point of damage instead of 2, okay? So if you've already updated your HP, change it back, give yourself an extra 1. All right, and that's it. You guys are going to take damage. For the sake of time, I'm going to speed through to round 3. And I'm saying that you guys are taking damage. The zombies have crowded around. They've pushed back. And the amount of zombies, 80 doesn't seem like a big number until you're surrounded by them. And you guys have killed off quite a few of them. But the corpses are littering the ground, and it just makes it seem like there's so many more, and they're converging on you, and people are starting to panic a little bit as it seems less and less possible to win this day. And you still have the Necromancer to take care of. And just as you are realizing this, we're not going to go into a round 4 or part 4 of round 2. I'm just going to speed this along, like I said. As you are thinking that you are surrounded, you see some of the bodies on the ground start to move. Bodies that you've impaled in the head or even crushed the head of are moving. Wisps of green light are forming around them, glowing around these bodies as they merge together like osmosis, the flesh warping into one body into the next, fusing the bodies together, and your jaw drops as you see them fuse a massive shape. A hulking golem of flesh and limbs stands before you, at least 10 feet tall, a green glow around it. With a chorus of voices, it steps forward and lets out a gurgling, unnatural roar as you take to your blades once again. Oh, shit. Warg has to go. Thank you so much, Justin. Absolutely loved this so much. Please do this again. Thanks, friends, for the fun. Thank you very much, Mike, for joining us. I'm going to say that Warg is indisposed. So it's up to you guys to protect Warg, who has taken a lot of damage for you guys. from the clutches of the flesh golem. Willard Bighorn, the warlock, says, "Dear God, why did you send me here, you old fool?" he says to the sky. Unsure of the events of the battle, anyone willing to kill hordes of zombies is a friend in his eyes. All right, let's move on to round 3. There are about 30 zombies left. And I'm going to say that this round we still have the bonus from Krathor. So you guys are doing double damage. You guys are doing 6 points of damage each. Let's roll. Go ahead and roll your d20s. Willard or Evan, if you've just created this character, you're going to get a natural +2 bonus. So when you're doing the roll, type 1d20 +2, and the bot will take care of the rest and tell you how much you got. So we are into round 3A, the rolling section of the combat encounter. Okay, so we've got Ignofar. Rolled a 15, so that is a hit. We got I or Poppet. It's up to you guys to decide who hits and who doesn't. Rolled a 23, a natural 20. And with a natural 20, I'm going to give you guys double damage on that. So I'm just going to put it under I for now, but you guys can decide if that's Poppet or not. I'm fine with that. That's 12 points of damage. Ignorant Farmer did 6 points of damage, or Ignofar, rather. Ignofar kind of is a cool name, actually. Nilale rolled exactly 12. That is enough to hit Nilale. Congratulations. Just barely a hit. And then we've got Aurora Kyles. Aurora! Oh, no. Oh, Aurora. You've been unlucky this game. Aurora rolls an 8. She's all thumbs. Oh, that sucks. I want you to hit. What else do we got? 1d20. Okay. So Poppet misses, or I. 9. Whoa, okay. We got Rune doing 19, which is great. Rune. Oh. I don't think I wrote Rune down. Oh, that's inept guard, right? 19. Okay, then we got Marbles, got a 22. Marbles. And if you haven't already, remember to roll for Barrick there. 22 is a hit. My goodness. Willard rolled. He got a 14. Willard, that is enough. "14 hits. Maeve got a 10. Unfortunately, Maeve, it's not enough. That is a miss. Felius got a 14. That is a hit. Barrick got an 18 earlier. That's right. Thank you for that. So Barrick, 18. And then his next one is a miss, I know. Good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, Aurora. Okay, you're going to have one more chance to roll after this round. Great. I've got all of your rolls. You guys are going to be doing amazing amounts of damage, it looks like. So let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What is 7 times 6, guys? How am I supposed to know? 42 or something? 42, but plus 12, because I or Poppet got a resounding natural 20, which brings it up to 54. 54! points of damage. You guys just come back swinging. Tell me what that looks like. Got some time? Smells like dinner's ready. Chicken and rice. Epic meal. No, Willard, you didn't miss anything. I got your, or Evan, I got your roll. You're included. So now what I want you to do, you've got your roll. Willard hit. So now, like you can see some of the other people are doing, I want you to describe what that hit looked like. Are you attacking the zombies? Are you attacking the hulking beast? And because this is round 3, I'm going to let you guys go ahead and try to attack the Necromancer himself. Now, you don't have to. You guys can fight the zombies. It's probably, the Necromancer is probably running out of juice by now. In fact, you look over the pond and you see him panting and gritting his teeth as he works his hands like a puppet, trying to make this abomination move. Like a puppet master, rather. So I should have said that earlier, but it looks like we've already got some comments going, so this is fantastic. If nobody goes after the Necromancer, that's totally cool. We can just describe afterwards what happens to him. But if you want to go after the Necromancer, okay. We're gonna do one more round after this, just a short round, to decide who takes down the Necromancer. Okay, so it'll be a bit of a competition. We'll roll some die to see who does that. But right now, if you're going to do damage to the Necromancer, it's just going to be damage. It's not going to say who actually does the killing, lands the killing blow. This is exciting. I want to see what happens. All right, so you guys are taping away. Absolutely fantastic. You got your fantasy epic music playing. That's great. Really, really cool stuff. Oh, this is going to be epic. I think we will be able to end this in the next 10 minutes or so. One more round of damage, and then we'll see whether or not you guys take out the Necromancer. This is gonna be crazy. Oh, I'm having a blast, guys. I'm so glad you guys are here and keeping me company and being creative. So creative too. Some of these descriptions are, all of these descriptions are fantastic. You guys have really, really good imaginations. I have a vision of all of your characters. You guys all stand out, which is awesome. And I just like, I love the individuality of it. The individuality. Planetarium. I love the individuality going on here. I'm sorry that Aurora keeps missing. I do feel bad about that. It's not my fault, I mean, but sometimes the die just aren't on your side. Also, you guys are just awesome, honest, and I can trust you guys to be want to tell a good story and not fudge the numbers and just be like, it doesn't matter like whether you hit or not hit. It's just like, yeah, you guys are just, we're just telling an interesting story here. So the fact that Aurora Kyles keeps missing is actually kind of interesting. I wonder what this is going to do to her character. I wonder if this is going to make her like super studious or something, or like ask for one of the other characters for like training, combat training. Yeah, so many possibilities. So what do we got here? Oh, Mike says, thanks for doing this for us, by the way. For me, it's made an otherwise crappy day awesome. Well, I'm sorry you had a crappy day, Mike, but I'm really glad you're here. And yeah, thank you for that. That makes me feel good. I wasn't, to be completely honest, I wasn't sure how this was going to go. I thought maybe one or two people would show up and we wouldn't have that much, participation, or I wouldn't have the, energy to get through it and come up with, ideas and keep the flow moving. But I'm really digging this. I feel like it's moving. Maybe it's moving faster for me because I am the dungeon master and I've got to be thinking of, all this stuff coming up. But actually, I'm not really doing that much work. I'm just kind of flapping my gums. It's you guys that are doing the work. So let's see. We got 12 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we got 8 people commenting so far. I know that Barrick is away, and he's going to be part of Marbles' answer. Marbles is typing, and then we're good. Okay. My epic music just stopped. And, it's something really ominous now. Oh, and Willard's also typing now. Good. Okay, well, Willard, you still got a couple minutes to post or Evan, you've still got a couple minutes to post what Willard is doing. Excellent. Oh, I'm loving this. Boom, 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 boom. That's not what my music sounds like. That's just what's playing in my head. And I don't know if you can hear that really loud muffler outside, but there's a lot of loud mufflers in Calgary. A lot of them. Maybe it's just because it's a city. That's probably it. But it's, it's funny when I'm recording and it's mufflers, loud mufflers that make it through into the recording, and sirens. Oh my God. The sirens are just out of control in a city. Sometimes I have to pause the recording every 20 minutes because another siren's going. Why can't people just not get hurt while I'm recording? Why can't, you just get hurt when I'm sleeping, maybe? Boom, 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 boom. Oil-filled guys trying to look cool or sound cool. They don't look cool when they got smoke rising up out of their muffler, tailpipe rather. No, we don't roll damage. The damage is all included. So it's 6. Everybody just gets 6 points of damage is the way it works. But you guys did 54 points of damage as a unit in that round. Okay, so Big Willie Bighorn is typing away, but I'm going to get started on some of these descriptions. I think Evan will have enough time to get a description down. So, starting with Maeve, way up at the top. Maeve, kicking and whirling as she tries to push the zombies back, takes endless small nicks and scratches as she moves through the shambling corpses. Should have kept to the edges, she thinks, as she feels the bodies moving beneath her feet. The Maker's wrath. What is this sorcery? As she watches the monstrous creature form before her very eyes, half-orc farmer Ignofar screams in anger. Dead things should stay dead, damn it! And throws the hatchet on her back as hard as she can at the creature's shoulder, her face flushed and panting hard. This is what an orc looks like. Or this is what a half-orc looks like. And, back to Maeve. Her initial surge stopped Maeve, is forced back into a guarding position. Struggling to keep her footing, it is all she can do just to keep the reaching claws at bay. Her nose filled with putrid stench, her dinner threatens to return from her stomach. Ninel turns to face more incoming undead. She lifts her dual swords to lop off the head of one of them, but another smashes into her side, staggering her, so she only manages to slice through its neck before one of her swords falls from her hand. Regaining her composure, she spins toward the undead puppet master. Her face hardens as she grabs her last dagger, twisting and hurling it through the air, straight towards the Necromancer. And it hits the Necromancer. And it hits him right in the shoulder. And he grits his teeth as he's staggered back a little bit, but he comes back, gritting his teeth even more as he tries to manipulate this golem to swing at the drow that just attacked him. All right, Eye slips on entrails, but readies himself to throw Poppet. Nice. Poppet steps into Eye's hands and is launched into the air at the flesh golem. The clerical error, as Eye calls it. The clerical error. Poppet screams as she flies into the golem, swinging glowing fists. Each strike tears off chunks of its flesh as the golem loses strength. And limbs and arms grab at Poppet as she's just a whirling dervish on top of this hulking mass of flesh. And it's crumpling to 1 or 3 knees. But maybe it'll have a second wind. Felius shudders. Is it Felius or Felius? Felius shudders with revulsion when the zombies melt together to form a giant corpse puppet. He brings his bow to bear against the new threat that towers over them. He pulls back and lets the arrow fly. He's gratified to see it thump into the thing's chest. Aurora receives a massive bite in her arm from the zombie she fell to the ground with, but during the shift it became part of the zombie king. She shrieks in pain but pulls herself through the marsh and up by a tree, watching the zombie king/golem loom in front of the group. She feels useless. Everything she tried hasn't worked, but with Krathor's spell, she doesn't give up. Ignofar! She hollers and hobbles over to her friend. If she has to be, she'll be a human shield. Rune, damning himself for imagining how this could possibly get worse, grits his teeth and launches into a flurry of shield smashes and sword swings, moving toward the massive abomination, fire in his eyes as he tosses his splintered shield to the side, leaps into the air, gripping his sword with 2 hands and stabs downward into the unholy creation, just as Poppet is cutting off limb after limb, clinging on to this abomination. Beric spots the Necromancer and charges towards him, bellowing in rage. Marbles grabs hold of his friend and swings up onto his back. Beric swings a massive blow with his axe, catching the evil boss in the thigh. Marbles leaps from his steed, knives in both hands, screaming in rage. He lands on the scruffy fiend's back and starts stabbing furiously. Stab, stab, stab! Where's my gold, you cheap, scabby butthole? Cool. I love it. Evan, I didn't get your description, but Willard is in there. Willard is in there. He's hacking and slashing, and he is doing everything he can to keep the zombies at bay. In fact, he sees a zombie reaching for Poppet, but sticks his sword in the way and engages the zombie so that Poppet can continue her crazy damage. Oh, there it is! Charging into the battlefield, he sees the towering monster. There's only one way this is going to end. Where's the bastard? Running past the large mound of flesh raising from the ground, Willard runs to the head of the battle. With the Necromancer slowly coming into view, begins his incantation. Preparing his hands as if on cue, he stops and casts a green blast of crackling light toward the base of the Necromancer's feet. The Necromancer winces as the bolt connects and sears the ankles of the Necromancer. He hops back and does a little dance that actually looks more serious in this moment as smoke rises from his ankles. He whips his head, his hood falling from his head, and glares at you. Menace in his eyes. You see a purple orb begin to form in his eyes, in his hands, as he readies an attack. Okay, guys, that was absolutely fantastic. That's the end of round 3. And now we're moving into the damage portion. Oh, and that's not the end. We got to do damage, right? So I'm going to go ahead and roll with the addition of the golem, but he's kind of subdued. I'm still going to include him a little bit with the addition of the golem plus the necromancer. This is going to be 1d20 plus 15 again. So we're back where we started. Let's see how this lands. 28 points of damage. So round it up. That is 3 points of damage for everybody. Am I crackling again? I'm just going to pause this. Let's see. All right, I am crackling again. Let's just pause it. Maybe my sound card is a little overwhelmed. Maybe Google Hangouts is having a little bit of a conniption. What is a conniption? Is that even a word? It sounds Jewish. It sounds, yeah, conniption. Oh, he's having a conniption. That's more Italian. I don't know. I don't know accents. Am I still crackling? Anybody able to tell me? It sounds a little bit better. Nope. It looks like all good now. Nope. I'm better. All good. Maybe. I don't know. Okay. I don't know what's going on. It might be my YouTube, actually. It might be there's too much. Barrick is going to take 5 points of damage. Barrick is back. Okay, so that's 28 down to... Oh, if Barrick takes 5 points of damage, that's going to drop from 28 to 23, which rounded down will be 20. So then everybody else will take 2 points of damage. Poppet's going to take 5 points of damage. Okay, so we might even drop it down to 1 point of damage. So 4 more points. If between everybody, if we can get 4 more points absorbed, if 4 people take 3 points of damage, or 2 people take 4 points of damage, then that'll get us down to 1 point each for everybody else. Okay, Ignofar is going to take 3 points of damage. We're down to 17. Hey, Matt McHale, that is that's legit, dude. He's driving and he had to pull over so he could take damage for the team. Absolutely amazing. 3 points of damage from Felius. Okay, so we're down to 16. Only 2 more points to absorb for everybody to get it down to 1 point each. Both Poppet and Barrick took a huge hit for the team. How do you figure out your HP? Oh, Willard, you start with 12. If you just created your character today, then you've got 12 HP default. And if you do decide to create Willard Bighorn, the warlock, you're more than welcome to create like a D&D character sheet for that. Level 1 character. I'm going to be giving you guys experience points at the end of this. Quite a substantial amount. You guys are definitely going to be going to level 2 after this if you haven't already. Okay, we got I is going to be taking 1 point of damage. Makes sense that Poppet would take a lot of damage for that. She did a really, really good hit, but with the limbs and stuff, on the massive flesh scratching at her, it makes sense that she'd take a little bit more. We just need 1 more person to take 3 points of damage instead of 2 in order to have the rest of the party down to 1. So are there any takers? I'm going to give you 2 minutes to decide if anybody else is going to take 1 extra point of damage. Okay, Willard is taking 3 points of damage, which means that anybody who is taking damage that hasn't stepped forward and taken more, you're going to be taking 1 point of damage. All right. Marbles would offer, but he was too slow to offer. Sure, Marbles. Whatever you say, buddy. Yes. That's fantastic. So everybody takes 1 point of damage unless you volunteered to take more, and then you know how much you're taking. Excellent. So that is the end of round 3. Now, on to the final scene. The Necromancer stands there. The hulking beast has attacked with its last ounce of strength, and it has collapsed on the ground. There are still some zombies left. Oh, actually, no, there aren't any zombies left. All of the zombies are dead. All that remains is the Necromancer. He stands there across the pond. A few of you have already gone over to engage him. And seeing that he is completely outnumbered now, his undead horde is just a dead horde. You see the Necromancer begin to speak an incantation that you guys, anybody who knows anything about magic, recognizes this as a spell, an attempt to flee. He's trying to maybe turn himself into a bat, maybe teleport somewhere, maybe turn himself invisible, but he's doing something that is going to make him flee. And his eyes are wide as he's desperately doing the motions, the verbal component as well. So you guys have a chance to take him down. Oh, no, you don't, Nilel says. Quick, whack him, says the orc farmer S. So here's what I want to do. I want everybody to roll a 1d20. No bonus. Just a 1d20. We're just doing this for cinematic effect, okay? And this is to end the show, the epic ending. Anything above a 15, anything under 15 is you're disqualified. You don't react in time, okay? Anything above 15 and you are entered in a bit of a contest. The highest roll is going to determine who stops the Necromancer from escaping. And that character will get to decide whether they kill the Necromancer or knock him unconscious for questioning or whatever. So I already see some really, really good rolls. I see one really, really bad roll. But I see one really, 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 really good roll. So this is going to be really interesting. We do have a natural 20. If somebody else rolls a natural 20, then you will have a chance to, you'll be doing this together. You'll both be attacking the Necromancer together. But guaranteed, it looks like Marbles is going to be the one going after the Necromancer. Okay, Marbles stabs him in the noggin. Game over. All right, so it looks like a lot of people have rolled. Barrick is pulled over to roll. He got a 9. Not enough to beat a natural 20. Okay, I'm going to give you guys 10 more seconds to roll if you haven't yet. If not, it's going to Marbles. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, Marbles, the Necromancer is all yours. Does Marbles decide to end the Necromancer right here, right now. How does Marbles even get to the Necromancer? Did the Necromancer even see it coming? Everybody's charging towards him. It would make sense if the Necromancer was distracted away from little halflings that are rather sneaky. Marbles will be looting him before we even realize he's dead. That might be accurate. Of all the people, that's so funny. I not nothing against Marbles or anything like that. I just think it's absolutely hilarious that the halfling that was bouncing off of people's butts earlier is the one to land the killing blow on the epic evil Necromancer. So Marbles is typing away. Zia says, my hatchet is still in the corpse monster. Up for grabs. We lost our marbles. We've lost our marbles. Maeve so wanted this. I know. Yes, it is what it is. The dice have spoken. And let's see, what did Maeve get? I think Maeve got pretty well. Yeah, Maeve got a 16. That's pretty good. I don't know who rolled the natural 1? Rune the guard, the inept guard, living up to his name. Nah, he just fought in a battle that the likes of which he's never seen. He's probably pretty out of it right now. I would be. I mean, I'm not even guard, but I couldn't imagine fighting this. Barrick throws him. I was picturing that. Just Barrick just picking him up and whipping him across. It might even happen. I wouldn't be surprised if Marvin's on the same wavelength here. Oh man. So let's see while we're waiting. Yeah, Rune is still concerned with the abomination. He's poking it with his sword, making sure that it's actually dead. While we're waiting, why don't we get some ambience going? The swamp, the light from Krathur's spell has died down, and the swamp has resumed its sickly bluish gray color. And the undefeated members rush toward the Necromancer. Oh, Jacob Watterson's here. Jacob Watterson, you've joined at pretty much the tail end of this this mission, but we'll definitely keep you posted for next time. If you haven't already joined the Facebook group, go and do that. I'm not sure if you have, but yeah, basically you'll be able to create. I'll post a link later tonight about the Undefeated and how you can sign up and create a character. If you were to have just joined, I would have let you create a character, and you can still if you want. Create a character, just change your name to whatever you want your character's name to be. He is going to be level 1, but he's going to just start out with a base of 12 HP. Oh, good. You've already joined the Facebook group. Yeah. So I'll do a post about how to be involved in the Undefeated community campaigns moving forward. For now, we're waiting on Marvin to write out a description of how he takes out the Necromancer. And the swamps, the battlefield is just a complete mess. Zombies, half dead, are sinking in the mud. How are people doing for health, by the way? We got Rune down to 5 HP. He's not looking so good. We've got Warg, I know, is at 5 HP as well. Aurora down to 7. It's pretty close. I know that Barrick took a lot of damage. Maeve is down to 4 HP. Yeah, that's crazy. I already said Maeve, though. That was pretty intense. I mean, people could have been taking more damage, but it definitely felt intense to me, at least, with the descriptions. It was the descriptions made everything. I mean, yeah, sure, I could have made the balance more difficult, for you guys and made it more risky. 17. Nope, we still got marbles. Still marbles going for the kill. This has been an absolute blast. I'm really happy with how this went. You can definitely see more of this happening in the future. I do really like the idea of an ending, like for conclusions, but this might actually work for some of the other stuff too. Like if you guys have to investigate or something, I think this format where it's like live stream is going to be, I think, easier to maintain than doing the weekly posts and then waiting for people to post and then replying to those posts like spread out for hours throughout the day. It's better to just do it all at once, and I think this has been a success. Marbles. So Barrick picks up marbles and slings him like a guided missile at the Necromancer. He lands on his head. Slipping his hand into his robe, he pulls the evildoer's purse from his pocket and slips it into his own. Then he starts slashing. Grrr, blood, and then guts start to fly like a puppy in a food mixer. Screaming his last spell, the spellcaster splutters blood and stumbles to his knees. Marbles smiles and walks off, born to kill. Big round of applause for Natural 20 Marbles. The final description there. I wish I had that button. I got to get that going. Yeah, next time you'll have, well, actually first, thank you, everybody who joined today. All of you guys were really active. You all took part. You all did some really creative descriptions of how you were taking part of this combat. And I think it went really well. Most important is experience points. For this entire combat encounter, including the zombies and the hulking mass, plus the what's it called? The Necromancer. I'm going to give you guys each 350 experience points. Dungeons and Dragons experience points. You can add that to your character. That means everybody is at least level 2 now. And I trust you guys to go through the character creation, whether you use OrcPub or the book themselves from Wizards of the Coast. Level up your character. Make them level 2. Do everything that you need to. I trust you guys to do it legit. And I hope that you're all keeping track of your XP, because I was trying to do it myself. It's way too much work for me. So keep track of all of your experience points and level up. Now, I said 350 experience points. I'm giving an extra 50 experience points to Marbles for landing the killing blow and for Poppet, who did massive amounts of damage to the golem. And that's it. Those are the only natural 20s of the night. So great job. Have you leveled up, Phileas? Yes, you have. You've hit level 2. It's 300 experience points to hit level 2. So if you have the player's guide for Dungeons and Dragons, then you can use that. If not, then I'll be coming up with a way to level you guys up, just a basic method. So like if you guys had 12 HP this time, I'm just going to give you a round up to 15 HP next time if you're level 2, if you aren't doing like an actual 5e character. Okay, everybody, that is it from me. I'm going to do some posts a little bit later tonight. I know Jacob Watterson had some questions about joining the Undefeated. I'll post that later for you, Jacob. Willard, Rune, Zia, or Evan, rather. You guys feel free to create legit characters as well when I post the Google form about joining the Undefeated. And it doesn't have to be an actual legit 5e character. That was great. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, Brianna. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Zia. Chris Sparks, Mike Kyle, Megan Dawn, Matt McHale. God, everybody who came. I'm sorry, I know I'm missing people, but thanks again. we'll see you next time. We'll see you tomorrow for Chapters of the Undefeated, the live stream from us at Invictus, with all of your favorite characters coming back. And we'll see you soon for Chapter 2. Until then, take care. Bye-bye. Oh, I need a good sign-off. Until then, well, we'll see you around the table. There we go. Good night.